It's official, guys. Beyoncé has decided to file for divorce after the recent rape allegations against Jay-Z. After years of rumors that Jay-Z was cheating on her and abusing minors, Beyoncé has decided that enough is enough, and she needs to protect her brand.
I predict a Beyoncé and Jay-Z divorce announcement in 2025. It's officially gone too far. It's too much. The allegations are terrible.
Jay says the only heartbreak he has is for wife Beyoncé and their 3 kids. Quote, "My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims."
What's better than 1 billion?
There's been no comment from Beyoncé, but mom Tina Knowles apparently liked an article reporting on the alleged rape, but later said she was hacked.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
This report comes after years of rumors that Jay-Z wasn't loyal to Beyoncé or his own family. He first confessed to cheating in 2007, and then again in 2014. Rumors started to fly that Jay-Z was involved with someone. Remember that video of Solange fighting with Jay-Z in an elevator after the 2014 Met Gala after party? Beyoncé just stood by and let it happen because she agreed with whatever Solange was doing. Plus, who can forget the time when Jay-Z was allegedly in a relationship with Rihanna? He trafficked her, manipulated her, and then cheated on Beyoncé with her. Beyoncé only put with all of that because from her perspective, this marriage was more of a business deal. After her marriage with Jay-Z, Beyoncé's career started to skyrocket. And let's not forget that Jay-Z got most of his awards after his marriage with Beyoncé.
She's just trying to save the Beyoncé empire, the Beehive. We all know her as Beyoncé Knowles Carter. Even on tour, she went by Miss Carter. Yet Forbes recently reported her as Beyoncé Knowles. Now, they were doing their annual report of the world's most powerful women, and Beyoncé Knowles earned her spot on there. But it's interesting because prior to this announcement, this report, she's always been reported on Forbes as Beyoncé Knowles Carter. So why the switch up now, especially this timing?
People in the industry knew from the start about the kind of relationship that Jay-Z had with Beyoncé. Jay-Z's involvement with Rihanna, Rita Ora, and Rachel Roy, while he was married to Beyoncé, and Beyoncé's acknowledgement of the fact that Jay-Z was cheating, but doing nothing about it made it clear. They were just married for business purposes. 50 Cent even talked about this in a recent episode of the Flagrant podcast and said that for people in the industry, this was common knowledge.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyoncé. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, listen, if you look at his career,
This guy. Wow. You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
You're gonna let him say that? He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong.
He was
At
one.
the same time.
After that, he got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like fucking things the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because
from
he's
the
no
marriage.
longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
In the past, Jay-Z has always been able to rise above any rumors or allegations that came his way, but this time, that's not going to be the case. Legal experts have already said that the allegations against Jay-Z are serious and there's a good chance that these allegations are only the first of many. Beyoncé doesn't want her name to be associated with Jay-Z because she knows that sooner or later, she's going to be dragged into this drama too.
So that's that. Now, as far as Jay-Z is concerned, this can really go one of two ways. This might be an isolated one-off case that he has to defend, or potentially it could be a Me Too type situation where other victims come forward. Obviously, we saw that with Diddy and Cassie Ventura. So the coming days and weeks are really going to be telling. And Tony Busby says he has more than 100, maybe up to 300 victims he's representing. So it's going to be interesting to see if any of them also name Jay-Z.
And Nima, if such a high-profile name like Jay-Z has come out, could more celebrity names be tied to these lawsuits? What do you think we can expect?
No question. This may just be the first celebrity domino, and Jay-Z was unmasked as celebrity A, but let's not forget there's a celebrity B in that same lawsuit that allegedly witnessed the sexual assault, a female celebrity. And there was someone who went on CNN earlier this week and said that his sexual assault was witnessed by another celebrity as well. So I think we're going to see more celebrity names identified very soon.
All right, Nima Rani, thank you so much for joining us. As you said, this is one that has entered the court of public opinion. It's nice to have your actual legal advice on this one.
And a new twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay-Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay-Z has denied the allegations in a statement on Roc Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting the case for personal gain.
To make matters even worse for Jay-Z, fans have started to peel back the layers of all of his relationships through the years. Allegedly, Beyoncé knew about what Jay-Z was doing, but she's now worried about her daughter. According to reports, the girl that Jay-Z allegedly raped was 13 years old at the time of the assault. That's the same age as Jay-Z's daughter. 50 Cent has even talked about this, saying that if the allegations are true, he's worried about what Jay-Z might have been doing with his own daughter.
Inside the building, plaintiff recognized many celebrities as she entered what appeared to be a large living room or foyer containing a large crowd. Plaintiff attempted to mingle in the crowd and talk to several of the celebrities that she recognized and whom she wanted to see at the VMAs. Waitstaff circulated throughout the room, carrying trays of drinks, and loud music played throughout the venue. Plaintiff observed widespread drug use, including marijuana and cocaine. After attempting to talk to numerous celebrities, plaintiff accepted a drink from one of the waitresses, circulating the crowd. The drink was a reddish-yellow mixture that tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. After drinking just a portion of that drink, plaintiff began to feel woozy and lightheaded, making her need to lie down. A photograph of an actual exemplar container used by Combs and/or his agents/employees to insert GHB into alcoholic drinks is seen below, and these are the photos included in the lawsuit that show a small plastic container that the plaintiff claims contained drugs at the party. The woman, remember, who claims she was 13 at the time, says she felt woozy and went to look for a place to lay down. Soon after, Combs entered the room along with defendant Carter and a female celebrity, Celebrity B. Plaintiff immediately recognized all three celebrities. Combs aggressively approached plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her, and said, "You are ready to party." Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing plaintiff to fall. Plaintiff got up and stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, Carter began removing plaintiff's clothes as she grew more and more disoriented. Plaintiff was held down by Carter as he vaginally raped her, while Combs and Celebrity B watched. After Carter was finished, he stepped back toward the wall. Combs then stepped forward and vaginally raped plaintiff while Carter and Celebrity B watched. Combs then knocked plaintiff down and attempted to force plaintiff to perform oral sex on him. She fought back, standing up quickly and punching out at the same time, hitting Combs in the neck. Taken aback, Combs stopped his attempt.
The details of the lawsuit against Jay-Z are shocking. Allegedly, the minor that he raped was autistic and had been drugged by Diddy. Other celebrities present at the party saw what was happening, but they didn't do anything to stop Diddy or Jay-Z and only covered up the crime. There is also one other possibility here. The woman named as Celebrity B, in this case, is allegedly the same person who was present at other freak-off parties with Jay-Z and Diddy. Fans have tried to guess who this person is, and they all reached the same conclusion. It was Beyoncé.
Busby say about Jay-Z, the artist, the businessman? Well, the complaint begins. Defendant Sean Combs, along with his longtime friend and collaborator, Sean Carter, drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. Another celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting the minor. Many others were present at the after-party but did nothing to stop the assault. Combs had been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences. He believes he is above the law. He is not. His close friend Sean Carter has been with Combs during many such instances described herein. Both perpetrators must face justice. So that seems to suggest that Sean Carter, Jay-Z, was not only present or participated in this alleged, what is essentially a crime, but for other instances. And that's really interesting. That's why I bring up this idea of, could he be hit with more lawsuits if you take these allegations as true? Now, the complaint goes on to say, Combs and Carter were not simply occasional collaborators in the music industry. The two men developed a close friendship that has been well documented from the late 1990s to the present. Together, they attended countless music industry events, events for each other's business ventures, parties, and after parties. Indeed, the two are apparently so close that Combs stated in 2023 that Carter is the only person, other than Combs' mother, who is allowed to call him by his legal first name of Sean. In 2000, near the height of their fame, power, and influence, Combs and Carter attended the 2000 Video Music Awards in New York City. Afterwards, Combs hosted an after-party for many of the most famous celebrities in the music and entertainment industries, including Carter, which is where the events alleged in this complaint occurred. I should also say that Busby also used this complaint to address an alleged harassment campaign that he claims Jay-Z started after Busby reached out about his involvement in the suit. The complaint reads, Carter was identified in plaintiff's original complaint as Celebrity A. Prior to the filing of this amended complaint, Carter received a letter from plaintiff's counsel requesting a mediation to resolve this matter. Upon present information and belief, Jay-Z responded to said letter by not only filing an utterly frivolous lawsuit, the one that I mentioned before, but by also orchestrating a conspiracy of harassment, bullying, and intimidation against plaintiffs' lawyers, their families, employees, and former associates in an attempt to silence plaintiff from naming Jay-Z herein. This effort was meant to scare plaintiff and to discredit her counsel. That effort failed. Indeed, plaintiff chose to file this amendment as a result of the egregious conduct perpetuated by Carter.
Jay-Z knows that this lawsuit can destroy his business empire. Diddy's music label lost almost $600 million in deals after the lawsuit against him was filed. Jay-Z and Beyoncé are billionaires too, and they'll go to any lengths to protect their money, even if it means getting a divorce.
People at risk, often mentioned online, was Jay-Z, real name Sean Carter, who came up in the New York rap scene alongside Sean Combs. And just a few days ago, Texas attorney Tony Busby made it official. He filed an amended complaint on behalf of a Jane Doe who says that she was raped by Combs and Carter when she was just 13 years old, that this happened at a VMA's after party back in 2000. Now, the original complaint mentioned Celebrity A and Celebrity B, a man and woman, as being present for and even Celebrity A participating in the alleged assault. Well, now Celebrity A has been identified as Jay-Z, who has adamantly denied anything like that ever happening. He is very, very clear on that. In fact, he has accused Tony Busby of extortion, saying that Busby's attempts to get celebrities to pay out huge sums of money in exchange for not being named in civil lawsuits with what he claims are false allegations amounts to blackmail. In fact, Jay-Z is believed to be the John Doe who just recently filed a lawsuit against Tony Busby anonymously, claiming extortion and intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Word on the street is that Beyoncé knew about Jay-Z's predatory relationship with Rihanna too. Rihanna was 15 when Jay-Z first signed her, and he auditioned her alone for 12 hours in a hotel room. We already know that Diddy had a habit of auditioning minors alone in hotels where he would drug and abuse them. The lawsuit against Jay-Z right now alleges the same pattern of abuse, and it has horrifying similarities to how he auditioned Rihanna.
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed. Everyone was talking about it, and the 6 hours that she spent with him, and the 4 hours that she spent alone with him with no parental supervision. Her father didn't show up till the next day to come and collect the check.
Well, and
this is her life.
The rumors were even beyond that, right? That Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with her when she was
Very much
17
so.
is what a lot of this came out through a publicist who later then
Have
had
you
to
spoken
apologize.
to my friend Jonathan Hay? You should talk to Jonathan.
Please.
Because Jonathan was there. He was right there working with Rihanna. And it was right when they started crafting her to be seen as a brand and commodity only and not a person.
Jay-Z is coming out against this lawsuit and suing everyone involved. He wants to let everyone know that they can't mess with him. Right now, both the woman that filed a case against Jay-Z and her lawyer are being sued by Jay-Z. Interestingly, not even Diddy went as far as suing his victims. Jay-Z is scared of what this lawsuit might result in. He doesn't want to be the next Diddy, so he's trying to get everything out of the public spotlight as soon as possible.
Jay-Z is staying on the offensive, going after not only the attorney who filed the rape lawsuit against him and Diddy, that would be Tony Busby, the attorney, but also the accuser. And he has filed a new motion this morning, which we're going to get to in a moment, but basically he wants to level the playing field with the accuser. But first, we got to start with this response that Jay-Z had to the allegation. Catch you up real quick if you hadn't heard, but a woman who had filed a lawsuit against Diddy back in October, alleging that he had raped her at a VMA after party in the year 2000 when she was only 13 years old.
Right. Remember, this is when she allegedly was given a drink. She felt woozy, and there was Diddy, and there was a male celebrity who was unnamed at the time, and also a female celebrity.
Well, that unnamed celebrity is now named. She refiled the lawsuit on Sunday. She and her attorney, Tony Busby, refiled it and named Jay-Z as the unnamed celebrity involved in the rape. Jay-Z's response is extraordinary in that, look, we've seen all these lawsuits against Diddy, dozens of them now at this point, and frequently his response has been to deny it, but to say nothing else. Jay-Z went way more than just denying it. He did do that, but then went directly after the attorney. Part of his statement said, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt from a lawyer named Tony Busby. It made me want to expose you, Tony Busby, for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny." This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity.
It says, the New York Times contacted me to ask for my response to rapper Jay-Z's allegations that I tried to extort and blackmail him. My response is pretty straightforward. No one has made any threats. Jay-Z's assertions are bogus and laughable. Instead, our firm sent a standard demand letter seeking a mediation on behalf of a woman who alleges Jay-Z sexually assaulted her as a minor. The letter was vetted and approved by our client, whose preference was to attempt resolution short of filing a lawsuit. This approach is common in these types of cases. What you're seeing played out now is a coordinated and desperate effort to focus the public's attention on me personally to avoid attention on the allegations being made by my clients. This effort has included harassing my family and colleagues and even offering former clients money to sue me, which is illegal. When an alleged perpetrator behaves in this manner, wildly asserting that a basic demand letter is extortion and aggressively using the media to attack the opposing lawyer while at the same time ignoring the allegations being made by the alleged victim, it reminds me of a famous line from Shakespeare. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. We intend to address all of these issues with the court in due course. Let me be clear, we will not be bullied or intimidated by these shenanigans, and our clients won't be silent.
The most damning piece of evidence against Jay-Z is the fact that his alleged victim is prepared to come out and testify in court. she has already given an exclusive interview to NBC News and given the names of celebrities who were present at the party. These details are going to go a long way in proving her claims, and they already show that her case follows the same MO that Diddy had with his other victims.
You should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did ruin or run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof gerbil ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
As further proof of this pattern, a new lawsuit, this time filed by 3 men, has been brought forward. The lawsuit alleges that Diddy had a power fetish and wanted to dominate anyone that he came into contact with. For him, it wasn't even about sexual attraction. It was about having power over the people around him. Diddy would spike the drinks of the people he was working with, rape and film them, and then later use that recording as blackmail.
So why did you believe in these cases, and why didn't you believe in others that you were presented with?
Well, the thing with a abuser, a sexual abuser, is they follow a pattern. They fall to type, and you become very clear on what that pattern is, particularly a serial sexual abuser. And these cases were all identical in the facts, identical in the story. It was beginning, middle, conclusion,
They know each other?
boom. None of them knew each
Did
other.
you have them meet?
No.
Did you have them coordinate stories?
No, no.
Do you think they had any contact with each other before they came to you?
Absolutely not.
And when you were talking to them, well, first, the ones that you didn't take, why not?
Stories didn't make sense. Stories didn't fit the pattern. Stories were not credible. I mean, this is my 30th year as a lawyer. I've tried over 100 cases. I can assess whether somebody's story is credible. And if I don't believe it, I'm not going to put my name on a pleading, sign it, and file it in court. I'm not doing that. And that's what I did with the 60-plus cases that I rejected. Client who was bisexual worked for Diddy. Diddy owed him money for doing errands for him and being his step and fetch, for lack of a better word. And I think it was a power move. It was a clear power move because this guy had the nerve to come to him and say, "You owe me money." And so Diddy said, "Come on to the Intercontinental Hotel." He gives him the drug, knocks him out, sodomizes him, and I won't use the term that my client used, but he said he tried to turn me into his B word. And I think it was a clear power move on each and every occasion. I think the ones that took place in the Park Hyatt, that wasn't partying. My client met him at a nightclub in the city here with a music producer. He didn't think he was getting into that. The man who was raped in the Hamptons, he thought he was going to a white party. Who wouldn't want to go to a white party? I would have gone to a white party back in the day. I wouldn't go now. But they went there innocently, and this is what happened to them.
Right now, the most credible piece of evidence against Jay-Z are the tapes that Diddy recorded at his mansion. According to Gene Deal, Diddy kept these tapes as leverage against anyone that might try to expose him. Diddy knew that he couldn't trust Jay-Z, so he had tapes that implicated him too. Now these tapes are in FBI custody, and everyone that was involved with Diddy and Jay-Z.
You made a lot of allegations, right? Are you expected to eventually turn those things over, or?
Well, that's what we're going to head over to do now. So we have a hearing now to determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we do not.
So why were you in court today?
Just to give testimony to the grand jury. He was subpoenaed by the court, so as we all know, if you don't answer a subpoena, the marshals will come to your house as they came to his house, and they will bring you here. So that's why we're here today.
I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse. So I don't know if that's any more questions, but we got another hearing to go.
Are you nervous, or do you feel cool?
Nah, I ain't never nervous. The only thing that's fair to me is God.
I know you did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss?
No, we're trying to discuss that now, what we will be able to talk to in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives.
Okay.
But it was the book, so.
So it is Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily some of the stuff with the celebs that were mentioned besides.
It's hers. Nobody touched it.
Oh, so it is her official book.
Yes.
And no one touched it.
Nobody altered it. Nothing.
So it's not the copy that the gentleman said that he was selling before. No.
No.
It's two different copies. That one was edited, and we have the original copy.
Tony Busby, the lawyer suing Diddy and Jay-Z, has already gone on air and said that Jay-Z and Diddy are just the first dominoes to fall. Allegedly, over 300 victims are ready to testify against them. According to Busby, Jay-Z and Diddy are the masterminds of a dangerous sex trafficking ring involving politicians, celebrities, athletes, and corporate leaders like Mike Jeffries.
We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people if they're not true, and very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they're true, you shouldn't have been in the room and you shouldn't have been participating. So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits, and it may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names, and you might imagine in situations like this, that when a victim tells us that this person was in the room or this person participated, we want to do as much due diligence as humanly possible before we file that case, because in the United States, in almost every state, public filings are in fact public. And, when you name somebody in a lawsuit, the press is going to pick it up, and we're aware of that. So we're going to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's. And I expect that there will be some people named in these lawsuits that will raise some eyebrows.
Another instance, another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual minor was raped and then other individuals took turns raping her. Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again, allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore.
As more victims come forward and evidence continues to surface, it seems like the walls are closing in on these powerful figures. What do you think about these claims? Could this finally be the beginning of the end for Jay-Z and Diddy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.